I've never, besides for that almost 10-year period, I don't argue in relationships. Like, I don't. I might get frustrated, right? Like, I can communicate like I'm frustrated, right? I don't argue in relationships. I don't like, I'm low key. Like, I'm from the Bay Area. Like, I'm laid back, right? Like, it's time for you to understand that you don't have to walk on eggshells. You don't have to walk in a minefield, and start doing stuff in your life so you can get to that space and like step into your power. Keep the energy of I know what I know. Try it. Take it with you. Remember, what's the mantra if you've been rocking me for a while, what's the mantra that I told you about when I got out of that abusive relationship, where I was living in the projects, where I felt like I was stuck and I was trapped, and I wasn't used to following my intuition, and I had lost myself along the way. What's the mantra? What's the motto that I used? When I was traveling 45 minutes on a subway at 9 o'clock to get to work before 10 o'clock, and drinking a cup of coffee and doing breath work and meditating with my eyes open in a New York City subway, what was I saying? Every choice I make is the right one. Every choice I make is the right one. Every choice I make is the right one. Over and over and over again. And I wasn't used to that. I literally got a job because I had a week to find a place to live and a week to find a job, because the universe was noticing I wasn't getting the message. And so they shook everything up and took everything away from me. And my friend got me a job. Literally, like, I updated my resume. I was posting stuff. I was looking for work. I only had enough money to pay $400 a month for this place, because like in my relationship, there was no such thing as budgeting. Like, she always wanted to live in a really, really nice neighborhood and like barely get by. So like visually it looked good. However, internally it was chaos. And as soon as I got the job, my friend Bob helped me. He was up for 2 days looking for a place for me to find a place to live. This is like a senior citizen dude that I've known for like 15 years. When I first moved to New York City, like 10, 15 years ago, I hadn't talked to him in a while. And he's a Scorpio, and Scorpios were loyal. You know, there's different levels to this game, right? And he was up for 2 days helping me find a place to live, because I was in an abusive relationship, and I had to admit it to him. Like, yo, like, I don't even want to tell you about this. I don't even want to talk to you about this, because of my ego, because of my pride. However, I have to get out of this relationship. I have to get out of this situation. I cannot do this anymore. It's too hard. We were living on 69th and Broadway in the Upper West Side, in one of the nicest parts of Manhattan, paying like $1,000 a month for rent in a one-bedroom apartment, where other people were paying like $3,000, $4,000, because SAG-AFTRA, the actors union that she's a part of, has deals for people, and she connected with the woman that we were subletting, and it was an amazing location. Like, literally, you walk out and you're in every single like movie that you've seen for New York City, for Manhattan. We acknowledge Manhattan, the name Manhattan, because Manhattan is indigenous. I was living in one of the nicest places. I could walk by Magnolia Bakery and get my banana pudding, which I think they put drugs in the banana pudding because it's the greatest banana pudding you've ever had in your life. Right? And she just had a panic attack. That was her thing. Like, it was like her family hunted for drama, hunted for problems, hunted for chaos. I'm like, we're killing it right now. We're good. Nope. Destruction, destruction, destruction. So I had to find a place to live. And at that exact same time, my job emailed me and was like, we need to cut back on hours due to budgeting. And you're really, really good at what you do. You're one of the best. However, like, you can't work here right now temporarily. I was like, wow, okay. And my friend was up for 2 days helping me find a place to live. And he actually called somebody who's a friend of his who'd never met me before, who was living all the way in Coney Island in Brooklyn when I was living in the Upper West Side. And this kid got on a subway, didn't even know me, traveled over an hour to meet up with me, helped me move my stuff, literally got my bags, and went all the way back to Coney Island. So like, went on a 2-hour trip, never even met me before, just off of the word of my friend. And the elevator was busted, and we were on the 11th floor. So he helped lift up my heavy stuff, 11 floors, never even met me, moved me into this room, and was like, well, it's not much, but you got a place. And I thank God, because that's what I asked for. And I just had the understanding that God was taking me to where I was meant to go. And I was so grateful. I said, okay, this is, I asked for a place to live. And my friend Bob said, you know, like, I got a job for you, but I don't think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna roll your eyes and say that's corny and I don't want to do it. And I said, try me. I need to work. And he said, I own different accounts for restaurants and nightclubs around New York City and Chicago and different places. And I also have some bathroom attendant accounts. And normally, and he's a old white guy, old school. He's from the Bay Area, but he's really like he's a New Yorker. Like, he's been in New York for a while, but he's like me. He's bi-coastal. And he was like, normally I hire people from different parts of the world where they're less fortunate because they're really grateful for the job and they send the money to their families overseas. Like, really good dude, really, really, really good heart. And he was like, but, you know, I've known you for a while. You're my boy and you're getting out of a bad relationship. So, you know, you can do this job and you might feel like people are making fun of you. But when I was doing it in the 80s and 90s, I was making $200, $300, $400, $500 a night. And that's when I had a mullet and I was laughing. He's like, see, you can do this. You're a hustler. Right. And so when I got that job, I was grateful because I was like, oh, so I can get a job where I'm making base pay and I'm making tips. People liked my personality. People liked my humor. People liked how I was. I would be around the most successful people in the world and they would just love me, automatically love me, not judge me based off of my clothes, my appearance, my skin color, my teeth color, my hair, my presentation, soul to soul. They saw me and they connected with me. And my now ex would be so insecure and so judgmental, like, don't say this, don't talk that way. Why did you say that thing? You're not supposed to talk to them this way. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm the person who protected you. Like, my intuition I know what I'm doing. But I was so insecure and so desperate for love and so abandoned and so codependent that I just kept on falling back and falling back and falling back. And that's why I'm so on fire for you. And when I got that job that I emailed her and was like, I actually got a job. I found out I'm going to be working in a nightclub as a bathroom attendant, working around people with money. And instead of saying, okay, go get them and supporting me, that's embarrassing and humiliating. And we're not going to be in a relationship and I'm going to break up with you. And I listened to my intuition. I said, do it anyway. You know what you're doing. If I hadn't have listened to that, if I had gotten back into, oh, she's right, I should do a job where I'm worth more, where people respect me more, instead of just being like, my intuition is telling me to do this, you and I never would have been here right now. And maybe that doesn't mean something to you, but it means something to me. Because if you've been on these live streams, you see there are real people just like you right now watching. There's real people right now with real issues. And it's time for us to be weird, and time for us to be different, time for us to just know we know what we're doing. Yo, there's weird people right now that are showing their true colors and being snakes and being nasty and just being like these nasty, ugly, like that reptilian, weird energy, just getting thrills out of people hurting and stuff like that. Just people in your family just showing up in a different way. It's like, you got to know who you are. Weird. Passing crazy laws, doing crazy, like the craziest laws. They're passing the craziest laws right now. I don't even like to get into politics. I feel like I have to now. I feel like I have to do more. I'm feeling called to do more. I'm like, how much, like, I'm just asking God, I'm asking spirit, I'm asking source, I'm asking my angels, like, yo, like, drag me, pull me, float me, fly me, ship me, cruise me, mail me to where I need to go. Because if I need to do more in this world, I will do it. I'm literally resting right now. If you're wondering why I'm chilling on my bed right now in introvert mode, it's because I tried to get up this morning. I washed, I did what I did, and I'm so dizzy. And I literally, like Jen, the shaman, I was talking with her and was like, I feel a weird energy inside of me. I feel crazy. And she did Reiki and I literally started crying. No sadness going on in my life. No heaviness, no frustration, not missing my ship, just a sadness. Big is about to happen. And I feel it and I feel it and I felt it for a while and I'm not afraid. And my body's like, you need to lie down. My equilibrium. I woke up this morning feeling like I was high. Like different. like different. And if, to go back to the story, again, if I hadn't have listened to my intuition, not only would I not have been here, I wouldn't have realized manifestation requires you absolutely knowing beyond a shadow of a doubt, no matter where you are right now, that things are working for you to get to where you need to go. And it doesn't matter what comes or goes. I don't care if there's 167 people here or 167 million. I don't care if there's one person right now and I'm just talking with them and they're going through difficult stuff and they're the person who's going to make the change and be the ripple effect. I cannot focus on controlling finances, security versus insecurity, shame, guilt, blame, other people's bad moods. I can't. I cannot do it anymore. And I want for you to keep the energy, if you're open to it, of I know what I know. Because that's how I got to this place. I want for you to genuinely take a look at the fact that people have complimented you before, and people have lifted you up, and people have boosted you up and told you, oh, you're so funny. Oh, I love your smile. Oh, I like your earrings. Oh, I love your personality. Oh, I like how you carry yourself. Wow, you're so creative. You're so artistic. Even if you haven't heard it in a while. If you haven't heard it in a while, that's because people have been beating you down, and you've been on the CEO training journey, the love journey, to find out what it's like to really, really, really see what you're up against in this world, for you to get so tired and so frustrated that you actually speak up and you carry yourself. I want for you to know that you know what you're doing, and give yourself full permission to say this is wrong when people speak up to you and when they put you down and when they abuse you. You know when you've overreacted. You know when you overreacted and you're wrong. Okay, when I'm talking, and just because your family is mean and nasty to you doesn't mean that you match their energy with chaos and fear and frustration. I want for you to know that it's just going to keep on being crazy and weird and difficult, and people are going to keep on being inconsistent, and you're going to pull up in the drive-thrus, and you're going to go to the restaurants, and you're going to go to the stores, and people are going to mess up your orders, and they're going to be miserable, and they're going to be frustrated, and you're better than that. You're better than that. You're better than that. And you can have grace, and you can have patience, and you can have kindness, and understand people are mentally tuned out. It's time for you to tell yourself, I know what I'm doing. And listen, because some of you just met me for the first time. Please put this in your notes. Please put this in your notes. I know what I'm doing, turnkey, even when it looks like I don't. And you tell that to people, and you tell that to the world, and you look at yourself in the mirror and you tell yourself that. I know what I'm doing even when it looks like I don't. Thank you, everybody, for tapping in and tuning in and tapping the screen and all that different stuff. My name is Nikki Scorpio. I am the introvert that speaks up. I'm an introvert. I'm somebody that when I'm not doing this, I'm watching everything. I'm studying the patterns. So let me go back to my story. So I was a bathroom attendant. I was going every single day. Some of you have heard this before. I just want to share this with people and give you different context to let you know right now in this moment where you're like, oh my God, nothing makes sense. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like nothing makes sense right now? Where like you have an inner knowing and it just feels crazy, or you're waiting, or you feel stuck. You're like, what's the thing? What's the jump? What's the leap? What's the move? I don't know. Thank you, Zanika. Thank you. I appreciate you. I look different today. I look off today. Yeah, I woke up today feeling major ascension stuff, feeling major dizziness, getting downloads and messages, and I feel like I can't even like get up and get out of bed. I did. I freshened up, but like this is me in introvert mode. I'll show you all my different sides because I don't believe in putting on the smiley, fake, inauthentic, I'm always good, I'm always happy nonsense. We're not doing that anymore. Okay? Here's the difference. When I had the job that I had, when I was leaving my apartment building, it literally, if you've never been to the projects, as soon as you open your door, the hallways, sometimes, not all the times, smell, because people do different things in those hallways. See if you can just hang out in the lower vibration conversation, Aunt Janice. See if you can just hang out right here in this, oh my God, that's so disgusting, and I don't like that. I need to go back to the Malibu colony, because on the weekend when you go to the nightclubs and they play the music and they do all that, and you like that art that comes from struggling and It's not always moisturized and polished. So, I got jokes. So, right? So, I was going down the elevator, I'm going into the rough part of town. I'm in the hood. I'm in the projects. I'm there. Okay. I asked God to give me a place to live. I had a place to live. The people I was with were chain smoking, so I would wake up with my lungs feeling a certain way, not exactly having the most energy, doing what I needed to do. Okay. I would hop on the bus. I would go to the Coney Island subway station, which is the last station on the stop. I would go to Dunkin' Donuts. I would get my coffee, right? I would sit down. I would put my headphones in, and I would listen to a guided meditation, or I would just sit there and just with my eyes open. I would just. I'm in super introvert mode. I am cozy. Thank. What's up, everybody? So I committed again. I commit this commitment for yourself. Commit for people to get the best energy that they've ever experienced. That is your energy. Remember times where people have liked you, and commit to doing some kind of something before you get around other people. For example, because I've had a lot of different jobs, and I have hustled, and I've done this and I've done that. If I had a job today where I had to get up and get going and go to an office and like be around other people and do a presentation, what I would do is I would get up, I would do Wim Hof breathing, I would get a cup of coffee, I would be deep breathing, I would just be focusing on my gratitudes. I would speak health into my body. I would speak health into existence, which is what I've been doing this entire morning, just speaking health into my body, connecting with the parts of me that feel off and feel off-centered and feel uncomfortable, telling them that I love them, filling them up intuitively with love, with light, with peace, visualizing other people seeing me and being like, wow, like you look so healthy, you look so happy, you look so good, and visualizing the end of my day and being like, wow, today really built my character up, and I learned some lessons, and I made progress, and I see the bigger picture of like people congratulating me for having the home that I want, and having the car that I want, and having the clean drinking water and healthy food, and the doctor telling me, congratulations, Nikki, you're going to be a father, and people congratulating me, and seeing people tagging me and stuff like that on social media, seeing all of that and telling myself, no matter what happens, life is taking me to that place. This is actually a salt lamp. Salt lamps are really good. Salt lamps, it's basically like going to the beach. By the way, I'm not a big drinker. However, if you have people around you, or if you are somebody, get a salt lamp and put it around your bed. Like, it's amazing. Getting more oxygen in your body. I see the doctor telling me I'm eventually going to be a father. I know in this lifetime I'm meant to have kids. I see it. I see it. I see the doctor telling me. And I feel a lot of times, actually, just so you know, when we do the meditations that we do on these live streams, what I'm actually doing is I'm visualizing the doctor. One of my biggest ones, besides the other ones where I see myself in the 3-piece suit and you guys are complimenting me and telling me like how far I've come, and I'm hanging out there and I'm live streaming with you, walking my English bulldog. A lot of the visualizing that really gets me to smile and laugh and be happy is when the doctor tells me, congratulations, you're going to be a father. And I find out and I'm like, that's amazing. The level of happiness that I feel, and seeing like what a good father I am, and seeing how much love I have for my child. I am drinking a lot of water. I actually have this stuff I'm going to get in a little bit called liquid IV, that's extra hydration. So I do that stuff before I get around other people. And I'm telling you, I think this is why I don't care that people judge me and mock me and put me down and mock what I'm doing right now. Like, I really don't care that people are rolling their eyes, are similar. And I want to encourage you. How many of you drop an emoji if you're frustrated? Just be real about it. It's not a shame or an attack or a guilt trip. How many of you just don't like the fact that you're unemployed, or don't like your job, just don't like how much money you're being paid? You just don't like it. You just don't like it. It's just frustrating. It's like, I know that there's more for me. Good. Good awareness. Good awareness. Good. So now here's a question that I have for you. Can you commit to yourself? Can you commit to yourself? What's up, Tay? What's up, everybody? What's up? Thank you. Can you commit to yourself that you are going to work like you own the company, that you are going to give people the best energy that they've ever experienced, and you're going to do something before you start your day? For example, go onto YouTube and type in 6-phase meditation. The guy Vision Lake Leone who created that, VISHEN, all you need to do is type in 6-phase meditation, it'll pop up. There's different versions of it. Okay, it's the same thing. This guy put wires to his head, to his brain, to his body, and did basically every form of meditation that there is, and studied the sound waves and all that different scientific stuff and data and research, and found that this meditation got the best results, right? So you can do something like that. You can do Wim Hof breathing if you're into deep breathing. You can look up different forms of breathing. You can do box breathing, where you, what is it like? You breathe in for 4, you hold for 4, you exhale for 4. Anyway, look it up. You know what it is. Okay, come on. I'm not the expert in here. I'm a student and I'm a teacher at the same time. Okay. What's up, Minerva? What's up, everybody? So in case you just hopped on right now, major ascension symptoms going on, big changes going on in this world. And the message right now that I want for you to get is, I know what I know. 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 Take it with you. Same thing when I said before, the mantra that I used when I was in the projects, when I was in the hood, when I was in the rough part of town, when I was angry. Because again, when I went to that job, the first day when I set up my stuff, I had my colognes. I went to Canals. My friend Bob gave me a couple of colognes that he had from his days working as a bathroom attendant, and now he owns all these different businesses, and he's financially well off, and he's good, right? So he gave me some colognes to get me started, because I didn't have the finances to even get myself something like that. Then when I got a little bit more money, I went to Canal Street to get the bootleg versions, right? Because I'm not spending $90 for some Gucci guilty cologne. I'm gonna go to Chinatown and I'm gonna get it for 40, because people are drinking and stuff like that, and they're not gonna remember it anyway, right? And so I went to my job and I set everything up. I had about like 4 or 5 different colognes. I had actors, guys that think that like women are really turned on by Axe body spray, which is crazy. But you know, I like to give everybody a sense of hope. Right? And I didn't have all the extra candies. I just literally had some mints. And I had a bowl right there for the mints. I had a bowl right there for my tips. I had the colognes right there, and I was off to the side, and I had towels set up. I had a bunch of towels to hand to people. And I wasn't obligated to help people wash their hands. It's just my mind, what fuels me is incentive, because I realized that this job that I had was based off of tips. And I'm like, well, I want to see if I can really create the best energy and the best experience that people have ever experienced, and really give people, like, do what I normally do when I'm in my flow state. And so when somebody came in, and again, this is a nightclub, there's music playing, there's loud music playing, right? And there's people from all over the world. If you've never been to Manhattan, the reason why I love New York is because it's very, very diverse. You get first generation, second generation, third generation food, experience, clothing, culture, etc., so on and so forth. And you get people that travel all around the world to experience the American dream. And so when I was there, when people came up to wash their hands, I already had the sink on. He said, thank you. And I always said my pleasure. I always said that it was my pleasure, because I was so great. I want for you to get beyond, you're frustrated about your job, you're frustrated about your relationship, you're frustrated on how your home looks, or your room for rent looks, or your trailer looks, or your mansion looks, or whatever, wherever you are in the world, however that looks like. Because remember, there's people from all different walks of life right now that are watching. Okay? What's up, everybody? Thank you. So commit to your gratitude, and focus more on your gratitude. And again, that doesn't mean, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling angry, if you're feeling frustrated, that does not mean that you put on a smiley face and pretend like everything's okay. What I did before I got to work, what I did before I got to my job, was I was visualizing with my eyes open, because you can't meditate in New York City with their eyes closed, realistically. Okay? So what I did was I was doing breath work, I was doing visualizing, I made it clear. I got into such a space of everything that happens to me is going to take me to this place, aka my mantra that I use that was given to me of every choice I make is the right one. And when you fall down, you pick yourself back up. So you still made a good choice. Long term, like you're reading a book, like you're watching a movie, all the things that are frustrating that you watch in the movie of the underdog, that's you. No matter what they do, it's taking them to that place. And you know when you watch that movie, they're going to succeed. It's you having that level of confidence in yourself and believing in yourself. Because the reason why you're unhappy with your circumstances is because you have controlled your entire existence. And it's a better life when you just let go of control. And it's scary at first, and then you leap and you land, and then you're like, oh, I can do that again. Oh, I can do that again. Oh, I can do that again. And all of a sudden, new friends, new opportunities, new love, new promotions, new success, new things show up in your life. Thank you for the double taps. It helps bring in more people into this family. Thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. Get used to unconditional love. Get used to it. You've been hustled. Okay? So, it became a known thing when I was working this job that I had really good energy. Like, people would just walk into the club. They'd be like, yo, Nikki Scorpio. And I would give them the dap, the handshakes and the acknowledgement and the love and stuff like that. And people would just start talking to me. And I would be in a nightclub helping people washing their hands, saying, my pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure, from a real space. Absolutely. Have a good time. Go get them. Hey, absolutely. Hey, that's what's up. Hey, I like that shirt. Looking good, man. Looking sharp. Hey, make sure you got a Band-Aid. What are you talking about? Because you're looking sharp, man. You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And they would laugh. Then I would do stuff like that. People would say, I like your energy. How are you working in a bathroom right now? Like, that's crazy. Your energy's so dope. I said, because I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. $20, $100 here and there. And I was always ethical with morals and values, even working in a nightclub where people are doing what they're trying to do and this and that and the other. I was always on point, leading by example, always in gratitude, always grateful, because you never know who's watching you. Do you get that? I got taught this by a millionaire. Work harder than everybody and never complain. And if you take that with you, the right people will see you. If you work like you own the company and you don't complain and you stay away from negative people, you will win. And that's a super gem. Exactly. Thank you, Words and Gold. Thank you. Exactly. Like J-Lo. Say whatever you want to say about J-Lo. She doesn't sing her own songs and stuff like that. She was a background dancer on consistent with myself. And remember, I did this on the days that I didn't want to. Hey, thank you, Ashley. Thank you. Thank you. I did that on the days I didn't want to. I did that on the days I didn't want to. I showed up into work and was like, I need an extra cup of coffee, or I need to get an espresso shot, or I need to walk around. I need to do more breath work. I need to visualize clearly of what my destiny is, of where I'm going. I need to do more. That's where I started getting the understanding. This is why I talk about emotional intelligence, because before that job, when I was living in Los Angeles, I was doing it behind the scenes with people based off of word of mouth, with actors, entrepreneurs, coaches, people like that were in Hollywood, that were in entertainment. It's just, I really started to realize that, and again, I want for you to catch this in your life. Notice how you're in a good mood. Drop an emoji or say yes if you've become aware of this recently, or if you're starting to become aware, if you're like, oh, I see what he's saying, of like, you're in a good mood, Something happens, you get an email, somebody says something, somebody does something, you see something, and all of a sudden, just like that, you're stressed out or you're frustrated. You go back to, oh my God, I have to pay more bills. Oh my God, what about my kids? Oh my God, what am I going to do? Oh, I don't like the way that person spoke to me. I was just in a good mood and now I'm not. Good. Nothing to be ashamed of. We're not doing that anymore. This is what I want for you to get. And thank you for the follows. Thank you for the taps. This is what I want for you to get. You can still be on your journey. The society that we're creating, that we're building, you're not going to be ashamed anymore. When I'm staying at my moderator's place, and I don't know if you saw her live stream yesterday, she was talking about her kid. She has 3 different kids. She was talking about one of her kids, how he had like a really big breakthrough and a panic attack and something that was really complicated that happened. And she was on the live stream talking about it. And he's working on his stuff, and he's 9 years old, and he's an angel, and he's such a powerhouse, and he's so smart and so intelligent. And she was talking about this experience, and he was lying down right here just watching her live stream with me. We're watching it together, and he was like, oh my God, she's talking about me. He was like embarrassed about it, and I could feel him like fidgeting and stuff like that because he felt insecure. I said, no, this isn't a bad thing. Everybody has this. Everybody has stuff that's going on. Everybody has a thing that they don't like to talk about. That's actually the one thing that connects all of us, and your mom and me and all the rest of the people in this world. We're building so that we can live in a world where we're not going to be ashamed and embarrassed about this anymore. It's okay that you went through what you went through. And he's like, okay. And he gets it. I want for you to have that energy for yourself. Like, so what that you have an addiction? Thank you. Yeah, you've been an addict? Who hasn't been addicted? That's why I'm so glad that I came from poverty and I hung out with the millionaires and the billionaires. You was financially in a good place and can confirm what I'm saying, that like when you get to a certain level of fame, financial freedom, or success, that they're the most inauthentic, most insecure, most like I have to always show people that I'm better, that I'm donating more, that I'm making more money, that my husband is donating more, that I'm a more successful person. And their inner circles, the influencers, the people that have like hundreds of thousands of followers, that are like the trust fund kids and stuff like that, they don't know their identity, they don't know where they're going, they're highly medicated, they have a team of people around them, like craziness. And you're over here judging yourself and being frustrated about your outcome and your results in your life when they would trade places with you. I know somebody who had a Lamborghini and he was sad and crying because the Lamborghini was collecting dust because he doesn't have anybody he can trust. And you say, poor rich person. You have one person in your life who loves you, that you trust, you have unconditional love, then you're rich. And they still have anxiety too. I was hanging out with a man that would make Great Gatsby look like he was like a middle class, upper class kind of person. And this person has bottles and bottles and bottles and bottles of wine. Every single time I hung out with this guy, owns a private jet company. Every single time I hung out with this guy, has to get everybody hammered beyond hammered beyond hammered because he has terrible trust issues. Okay? Because I was consistent with myself, because I had the great energy, the greatest, this was my commitment. And some people would mock me. When somebody would say, yo, man, that's crazy. You're a bathroom attendant? Like, you make this look like it's exciting. I'm like, that's because it is. And people would get it. And other people would come be like, that's stupid, man. Like, it's not true. I'm like, that's your truth. That's your truth. That's your truth. Enjoy your night. Have a good time. I want for you to get that you know that you know that you know what you know what you know that you know what you know that you know what you know that you know what you know. You can't tell me. You could listen. You could take everything away from me. This is the energy I want for you to have. Drop an emoji right now if you're in an abusive relationship, or if you want to get out of this abusive relationship, or if you want to get a divorce, if you want to end your relationship, if you know that you should end a relationship. This is what I want for you to get. This is what I want for you to get. Be real. Tap in. Safe space. Unconditional love. Even if it's family or whatever. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. I still don't see you dropping your emoji. I still don't see it. I'm still waiting. Do it. All you got to do is just tap right down the bottom left-hand corner. Thank you. There you go. Of course I see you. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you. Okay? Now, thank you. So, I want for you to get a couple different things. You have always known what you're doing. That person is your master class. That person is your master course for you to know that you know what you're doing. That person is afraid. They haven't processed their childhood trauma. You are not responsible for their childhood trauma. And I want for you to have this energy. When I get out of this relationship, when I get away from this person, if they take everything from me, I will come back 10,000 times stronger. You think because I'm a man, it's easier? The polar opposite's true. Women take care of women. You can find another place to live. You can be in a shelter. Have faith. You're not going to die. It doesn't matter how old you are. That's a hustle. Give me more excuses about how you have to stay in this relationship because you're desperate or somehow your kids aren't going to be good. The only reason you're on this live stream is because I had a broken home. I dare you to prove me wrong. The only reason why you're here right now is because I was in an abusive relationship. I dare you to tell me otherwise. I know who I am, and I didn't before. This is new energy. This is recent. Almost a year old. September was when it all transformed for me. And I was so scared and so nervous. It was right around this time where everything transformed for me. And my intuition told me September is going to be rough and October things are going to open up. I was supposed to have a job. This is after the bathroom attendant job. I was supposed to have a job making $300 a day. They changed their guidelines because of COVID. It became $300 a month. Where am I going to live? In a house made of sticks with the little pigs in Central Park? Can't do that. I panicked. But I listened to my intuition. I listened to my faith. Keep that energy. Oh, you're going to throw everything away? You're going to take everything away? Do it. I'll come back stronger. Know your legal rights. Educate yourself if you have kids, if you're in a relationship, if you have complicated situations going on. Educate yourself. You can get free access to attorneys and to legal help. Post more videos. Create another. Oh, I can't post videos because people are watching me. Then change your name and don't show your face and tell your story and say I'm looking for help. And speak with conviction. You're better than that. I don't care if one person understands what I'm saying and everybody else is like, what is this guy talking about? I'm talking to you because you're that powerful. Know that you know what you're doing. It's time. You're going to keep on. And when you know that you know what you're doing, life is going to temporarily be more uncertain. We got, even if you're not into astrology, Mercury retrograde slows things down. It makes electronics glitch out. All of the stuff that's being brought up right now is for you to tune into it, to see this is residue, this is a quiz, this is a pop quiz. Yesterday was crazy for me. I had multiple quizzes to see how I react. I had to reschedule 2 calls. It was frustrating. I've been working on letting go of control. Letting go of control is one of the hardest things to do, because by nature, human beings have to control their environment. You're going to take everything away from me, I'll get it back 10,000 times better. Take it all away. Take it all away. Kick me out the house. Do it. You don't have faith. I have faith. Do it. I know what I know, what I know, what I know. Try me. Take it all away. I don't care if I'm 70 years old. At 71, I'm going to be in love. I'm going to have a mansion. I'm going to be a philanthropist, a humanitarian. I'm going to have a nonprofit. I don't care. I'm not falling for your distractions and your earth hustle. I'm not doing that anymore. This broken planet, broken society, broken relationships, broken mom and dad, refusing to go to therapy. Everybody else is messed up. Hating their life, hating their existence, sending you crazy text messages, putting down your choices, unhappy, miserable, frustrated, refuse to do any work on themselves, narcissistic, abusive people, bullies, just exhausting humans, refusing to look at themselves in the mirror and taking responsibility. Please. You think you're the only one who deals with it? Most of the people on here right now have dealt with that, and we're all teachers and we're all healers. That's why I posted a video today where I'm telling people, like, yo, like, tell your story so you can bring more people together. You're going to see changes coming soon. Big changes. Find your people. Find your community, just like me. This isn't about me being rich and famous. This is literally like, I have to know there are other, thank you. I have to know that there are other people on planet Earth who feel like me. Don't you want to know that? Don't you want to know that you're not alone? Don't you? Stop thinking about your current age and just imagine if I gave you at 5 years old an iPhone, it was like, you can tell your story and do whatever you want to do with this technology. And you can also educate yourself. You can type in how to Forex trade, how to day trade, how to get into the stock market, how to become a teacher, how to become a certified coach, how to, and by the way, for those of you who don't like me, who roll your eyes, like, what in the world gives you the right to coach people and to teach people? Because I woke up in the morning and I inhaled and I exhaled. That's why. I don't need to go to college. When I coach coaches, I coach therapists. I know how teachers are behind the scenes. It's complicated. Life taught me I'm good. I don't need validation. I don't need approval. I don't need for 8 billion people to like me. Period. I refuse. Winners celebrate winners. That's all there is to it. If you don't like me, if you don't rock with me, I'm really okay with that. Because when you have the success that you want, and I want for you to get this about the people in your life, when other people around you, including yourself, when we have the level of love that we want, when we're living where we want to live, when our life is going in according to plan, when we're dressed nice, when we look nice, when we feel good about ourselves, when we feel attractive, when our bank accounts match our energy matches our body, matches our perspective, everything matches. You don't care that other people are judging you. You don't care about it. You don't care. So quantum healing, quantum manifestation is you're already there, and you check in with yourself and you keep yourself in that place even on the days you don't want to, and you're consistent with yourself and ask yourself, how am I going to act in accordance with how I want to live? Thank you, Skydog. Thank you. I tried therapy. Some people, therapy works wonders. I just don't like to tell people. And how does that make you feel every single time? Like angry. Let's move forward. Give me the solution, Janice. Yo, and some of these therapists don't even really truthfully care about what the person's saying. And thank you for the gift. And like, you have people that are narcissistic and abusive in your life, and they're going to therapy and they're not even telling the therapist what's actually going on. That's the craziest part about it. And the therapist just doesn't even care. And they're charging $90 an hour. What are we doing? You're being hustled. We're not doing that anymore. So, know that you know what you know what you know. You want to take stuff away from me? You want to take it all away? Good. That's because better stuff is coming. Get that ingrained in your brain. It's coming to me. Like, I just had the inner knowing when I was working that job. I make it sound like it's like rock and roll and glamorous. It's not glamorous when people are trying to sneak into the bathroom where your job, your livelihood is at stake, and they're saying, no, we've been raided by the police. So if more than one guy goes into the bathroom, you stop them. And these are big dudes and these are successful people that are in entertainment. If they remember who I am, that I tried to stop them from doing drugs in a bathroom, that they could make a phone call and say, like, don't book Nikki Scorpio or whatever. God only knows what fear-mongering, fear, blah, 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 illusion stuff could happen. And I'm there with a mop because somebody drank too much and mixed their alcohol and doesn't know how to control themselves, and I have to clean that up and take a deep breath and spray the room, and people do weird stuff in the bathroom and I have to clean that up, and then that's when I'm working the men's part, and then I go upstairs into the VIP with the A-list and B-list, and then people are trying to hand me $50 and stuff like that, and they're like, no, you have to let that person in with the other person into the bathroom for them to do their drugs because they know the owner and because they're a celebrity. I'm like, okay. And I'm still being optimistic and I'm still keeping my spirit, and people are like, what do you do? What's your thing? What do you do? People saw me. People see you. People recognize you. People know you. That's why people look at you. Did you know that? You think people look at you because you're insecure about yourself, because they're looking at the parts of you you think that are unattractive? People are looking at your light. They're looking at your spirit. They're looking at your soul. And the person who's narcissistic, who's holding you down, who's judging you, doesn't want to share your light with other people. And that's including your mom, your dad, your uncle, your aunt, your grandma, your grandpa, your foster parents, however you live, however you're raised. Thank you. Thank you, Megan. Thank you. All the people in your life see you and see your energy. It's time for you to see the greatness within yourself, and just know that you know what you know what you know. If people are mean to you, just say, hey, like, I know this is wrong. I don't get spoken to this way anymore. I don't get spoken to this way. No, 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 no. Oh, you're gonna fire me? That's cool. I know my legal rights. That's cool. You can literally go onto TikTok if you have a job that you don't like if HR is treating you wrong, if your boss is treating you wrong, if you're being discriminated, if you're being attacked, if you're being messed with, like, you can literally, like, get off this live stream. Although I hope you stay. I'm just saying you have options, and neither of us are desperate. And you can look up, like, work laws, HR laws, like workplace culture, like whatever. Go on the rabbit hole, intuitively look it up. You can do it. You can look up how to build your resume. You can look up free education. You can look up jobs for moms and dads who work at home, or who are you can look up exercises for people who don't have legs and who don't have arms. You can do yoga for people who can't walk. Like, you have so many different options right now. And if you want to, and when you want to level up, work like you already have it, live like you already have it. Because when you already have it, the current situation that you're going through right now, it's not going to phase you. In my mind, God came down to me, an angel came down to me, somebody came down to me and said, Nikki, I know that this job, you don't like it. I know that it sucks. I know that it's frustrating. Work like you own this company and give people the best gratitude, the best energy they've ever seen, and God will bless you. And I just created that truth. The best way to message me is through Instagram. Yep. That was my truth. And that was on the days I didn't want to. And that was in the projects. And that was in Beverly Hills and Bel Air. And that when I was traveling. And that's when I didn't know what I was doing. And when I didn't like things. And when I was crying and angry and frustrated. I still had that perspective. All of this stuff. The ugly stuff. The frustrating stuff. The inconsistent stuff. The annoying stuff. Pick yourself up. Have your grace or rest. I'm telling you, I got out of bed and it was like north was south and south was west. Like, I felt all different types of discombobulated. And literally, I'm in Nevada. I'm traveling. I'm one of those weird people traveling around the United States, bringing people together, just being divinely led. And I talked to my moderator, Jen. She did Reiki on me, and I'm crying stuff out. And I'm like, while I'm crying, I'm like, what is this sadness? Where is this coming from? And the voice that I got was the world. We're releasing. How many of you in the past week, in the past month, have cried, have yelled, have felt anger and frustration beyond, and you're just like, come on, when is this gonna stop? Or what is this? Why is this popping up? Why is this thing happening? Why is this happening? And remember, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. It's not weird. It's not weird. It's not crazy. Why are you relating I want for somebody to answer this question. Why do you relate to me when I tell my raw story? Why do you relate to me? Why is that? Why is that? Why do you relate to me? Why do you say, I feel like you're talking to me? Why is that? Why is that? Why? Tell me. It is amazing. There you go. Why? But why is it weird? Why is it different? Why is it like, I can't believe that this is happening? Why is that? Thank you, the veil. Thank you, everybody. Simple, because we are one. Because you're a reflection of me and I'm a reflection of you. Absolutely. Because we're relatable, because we're living in a conscious collective more than we ever have before. Do I talk just to hear my own voice? Yes, I absolutely do. There's no other option. There's no other possibility. I literally, I just wake up, I'm like, let me just go onto TikTok and just listen to myself talk all day, every day. There's no other reason. There's no other possibility. It's not like you woke up this morning, you're like, I don't like my circumstances. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get on social media and project my anger and my fear onto somebody else. There's no other possibility. No, everybody in here has everything perfect. Everything's perfect going on in everybody's life. Nobody's in a narcissistic or abusive relationship. Everybody here wants to be alive. Nobody's ever questioned their existence. There's no other possibility. Are you insecure? Does it frustrate you that I'm talking to people while I'm lying down in my bed right now? That I can make money as long as I have cell phone reception? Does that trigger you? Did anybody in your life ever tell you to be quiet or to not speak up? That's why you don't like me. And I don't care that you don't like me. I don't care that you're triggered. Learn the lesson. I can still unconditionally love you. In real life, number one, you wouldn't look me in the eyes. However, number two, if you were having a panic attack, I would have everybody, because I've done this before in real life. I tell people to put their phones down, and I go up to you and I will hold space for you. While everybody's trying to get videos of you having a panic attack because you hate your life and because nobody in your family listens to you when you tell your feelings. There are 8 billion people on planet Earth. You've actually expressed this. I wanted an unappreciated take know things. We're aware. And we love extroverts. Extroverts are good at developing relationships and planting seeds and nurturing those relationships and bridging connections and stuff like that. Extroverts love them some introvert because introverts are great protectors, and introverts love extroverts because otherwise an introvert would be in the cave all day. Introverts secretly rule the world. That's why I want for you to get what you're doing. You know what you're doing. The only reason why you don't know what you're doing is because after you know what you're doing, you go to, what are people going to think about what I say? What's going to happen when I speak my truth? Are people not going to like what they hear? Oh no, people will have opinions about you. Do you want the truth or do you want to be exhausted? And we love the ambiverts too. I'm telling you, ambiverts are both. Thank you for the duet. Thank you. So I got to this place because I know what I'm doing, even when it looks like I don't. And that's a conversation for you to have with yourself of how do you get there? And because I was consistent with myself, and consistency means like today, I feel dizzy. My body's like, lie down, I lie down. I'm going to be doing some work very soon. I'm working on a book that's going to be a journal that's going to be for you to document your life and for you to tell your own story because you've never taken the time to actually tell your story. Minerva, you're funny. Dropping gems, exactly. The more gems I drop, the more gems I pick up. So this is the thing. Can you keep that energy right now when you get around narcissistic people, abusive people, mean-spirited people of, no, this is wrong. No, 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 we don't speak to people this way. As soon as I landed here in Nevada, I dealt with somebody who is a narcissist, who's a covert narcissist, and they were going around speaking to somebody that I care about in a certain way. And I'm like, no, 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 no. We're not speaking to women this way. Nope, we don't do this anymore. Nope, not in style. Direct eye contact. Hi, how are you doing? I know that I'm uncomfortable. I understand that. However, and they were like, get out of here. You need to leave immediately. I'm like, I actually feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. It's the weirdest thing. I know who I am. I got to this space because I connected my anger to my joy. I know that I'm a good person. I know that I'm divinely guided. I know that people are going to roll their eyes and put me down. The only reason why people don't like me is because they were told to be quiet, to shut up, to shut down, that children are seen and not heard, and to mind your manners. And so they see me being outspoken, not knowing that I was in an abusive relationship, not knowing that I was taken advantage of, not knowing that I was beaten down and experienced classism, prejudice, all this different stuff. Saw my mom get beat up and attacked, and the next day she was taking care of the kids that the families beat her up and attacked her and told lies and all this different stuff when I was a child. Saw my mom bleeding when the neighbors who were Black Panthers attacked my mom and there was no snitching in the hood, all this different stuff. I've seen all that different stuff. I've seen many different angles of humanity. I have a broad perspective of what is. I refuse to be miserable. I can feel angry. I can feel impatient. I check in with it. Yesterday, when I was supposed to have clients, the reception was bad. Things were changing. Things were happening in a crazy way. And I was like, well, I'm having the awareness. I'm having the awareness. I checked in with myself. I communicated to the people around me. I did the work. I sent the emails off. I rescheduled the calls, and I'm chilling, and I'm not desperate. 100% intuition will take you to great places. 100% intuition will take you to great places. And 100% intuition will end your relationships. It might have you feeling like you're crazy. It might feel like you're just like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm in the most unknown world. You just got to know that you know what you know what you know. And start actually owning up to the fact that you're a leader. A 100% intuition. Call it out when you feel like people are lying. Don't worry about people's reactions. Flo, who's on here, Garrett, who's my brother, talked about that. That's one of the messages he tells to people too. Don't worry about people's reactions when you speak your truth. Don't think that they're going to attack you. For real. Like, don't live your whole life in a thought prison, in a prison where your bars are thoughts and perspectives that are unhealthy. You're doing it to yourself. And you're not used to having to love yourself this much, and to believe in yourself this much, and trust your intuition this much. And it's going to keep on happening more and more and more and more and more. Hey, thank you for the gift, La Loca. Thank you. Thank you. Man, speak your truth. Your family comes around you, puts you down, you say, you know what? I love you. This is really exhausting, isn't it? When's the point where you're going to take responsibility for your feelings? I'm actually not responsible for how you feel. This feeling inside of you, this is a you thing. I'm not ashamed of who I am. I love who I am. I like the choices that I make. I like the decisions that I make. I like falling down. I like making mistakes. I'm actually really optimistic. Advice for an overthinker, you take the mantra, you take the motto that I did. Every choice I make is the right one. Just make the choice. If you fall down, you're building your character. Allergies or something floating around. Oh, love from England. Have you ever been to Cornwall? That's where my ancestors are from. That's where I'm going to be live streaming from. Can you feel that? Word, take massive action. Journal, document, take notes, meditate, pick yourself up. Pick yourself up. Do more for yourself. Invest in yourself. Journal, be aware. Do audio recordings where it's somebody else, but it's you. They do this with PTS victims and survivors, people who've actually served our country. They have them do audio recordings to say, like, you are healthy, you are loved, people love you, you're intelligent, you're smart, you're making money, you're good enough, you're so healthy. And they listen to it, and the brain thinks it's somebody else saying that, and it actually works. Take action. You want for other people to love you, and you do like the bare minimum to show yourself that you love yourself. And then you expect for people to love you and give you all this love. How? You're giving people a device without instructions. Here's a thing that's really powerful, that when you give it unconditional love, it can fly, it can heal, it can take off, it can create laughter and love and abundance and prosperity. I'm not going to tell you how it works. I'm not going to give you instructions. I'm just going to give you this energy, and you figure it out, and you do whatever you want to with this device. And the device is you, your heart, your love, your soul, your spirit. And you say, there you go, do whatever you want to with it. And hopefully, you'll treat it right and treat it with respect. Or what if you set boundaries? What if you actually loved yourself? What if you took care of yourself and showed other people, this is how I like to be taken care of? What if in the relationship that you're in right now, if you showed people the love that you're looking for, instead of being resentful that they're not giving you that love? How can the person who's traumatized give you love when they don't know that love that you're looking for, because they've never experienced it? The person that you're frustrated with is who I'm talking about right now. When you're rolling your eyes and you're saying, are you serious? What? Or just remove them from your life. Get rid of 50% people. Get more 100% people in your life. You're not ready to take that commitment. You're frustrated because nobody understands you. And that's the runaround. That's a feedback loop. You're caught in the loop. You want for people to love you. You don't love yourself. You're giving somebody unconditional love and saying, here you go. Walk all over that. Do it. I hope you have a good day. I hope you don't beat me. I hope there's no eggshells today. I hope there's no grenades. I hope there's no landmines. Please love me. Even though you weren't given healthy love as a child, you didn't have a healthy mom and a dad, you didn't have healthy parents, you have trauma, you grew up in poverty, you didn't take care of yourself, nobody taught you how to moisturize, how to take care of your skin, to go to spas, to get manicures and pedicures, to take care of yourself, to meditate, to stretch, to do yoga. Here you go. Hopefully you'll love me. You have a serious and taboo question for me? Go ahead. You're wishing on a star. I'm not doing that. Stars wish on me. I don't wish on stars. Stars wish on me. You're just rolling the dice every single day, hoping people are going to see you and hoping people are going to love you. Hey, thank you, La Loca. Thank you. You see the difference? Same you, same world, new perspective. Take it. The first one's free. You want love, you want success, but you're not realizing there's more effort required. Thank you for that. Thank you for that piece. Thank you. Takes one to know one. Thank you. Thank you, La Loca. When people tap the link in my bio and they book time with me, they learn lessons, they level up. They're also supporting me so that I can continue to take this into the mainstream and celebrate divine feminine and healed divine masculine and show people the power of love and the power of family, which shows up differently for everybody, and tell people my story to say, hey, you know what? My story wasn't harder than yours. However, my story is different. I was raised by lesbians. My birth father was gay. I'm an artificial insemination. I grew up in the hood. I experienced poverty. I saw all that different stuff. My neighbors were Black Panthers. I saw drugs. I saw violence. I saw injustice. I got out of that, moved into the nice neighborhood, experienced classism, prejudice, judgment from other people who were born in trust funds and had money and hated the fact that I was original, one of one, never been done. And then I got out of that situation, took a major leap, went to New York City because I told my mom when I was 5 I was going to Manhattan and I was going to change the world. Did that, fell in love, drove across the United States of America in pursuit of love, back to the West Coast, back to Los Angeles, and was in an abusive relationship for almost a decade. And I signed up and I chose all of it. So I might not know your pain and your frustration. However, I understand the human spirit. And I know what it's like to feel unloved and unwanted and abandoned and unseen and a burden and not wanting to be around and not wanting to be alive. And every single person relates with one of those concepts. Every single person on planet Earth. And if they roll their eyes, if they mock you or judge you, that's because they're numb. I know what I know, 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 what I know. Are you in crypto? I'm getting there. I'm getting into NFTs. I'm getting into crypto. I'm looking for people who want to build with me in that space because we can do this independently in a massive way. If you want to connect with me, if you want to build with me, send me a message on Instagram. My team is amazing. I'm building the empire. I'm not waiting for anybody. There's no angry emojis in my vocabulary. And if you feel numb, then start getting angry. And connect that to why you're doing what you're doing. Like, why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you alive? What's something that you would do for free? Find a way to make money, do it and do it. You have every single capability of picking yourself up, of being a leader, being the greatest. It doesn't matter how many people have done things this way and that way. All the people in your life are giving you limitations. When people direct message me, I read as many messages as I can. When people are like, hi, what's your favorite color? I'm like, I gotta go. I'm changing the world. You have so many options. And I want for you to get this, especially if you're in poverty. Especially if you're in poverty. You can use this app. You can even hide your face. After you get 1,000 followers, you can live stream. You can tell people your story. People will send you tips. There's links in my bio where people are donating and they're keeping me going. They're fueling me. They're saying, hey, you know what? I might not have much. However, I want to see you win because I want to turn on my TV and turn on the radio and walk outside and have this conversation be everywhere. And again, if you've been uncomfortable and be frustrated and sit down and say, look at them, look at the elites, look at how people are, look at how people are, look at how stupid people are. And I'm like, oh yeah, what are you doing about it? Well, I'm posting text to audio documentaries on YouTube that are 4 hours long exposing the elites. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you really doing that's actually making a difference? Oh, you mean I have to do something when there's injustice? No, I don't want to. Father will take care of that. No, Father will take care of that. No, somebody else will take care of it. No, I'm not a leader. No, I'm unattractive. No, my life has been hard. No, nobody wants a leader whose life has been hard. Nobody relates to life as hard. Nobody relates to that. Nobody would want me as a leader. No, I'm going to play small and pretend that I can't sing. This is what you do. This is what you do. This is the metaphor that I use. You're telling people that you're not a leader, that you're not good enough, that you're not attractive, that you're not lovable, that you're too old, that you're too young, that you're too poor, that you're too dark, you're too light, you're too this, you're too that. You're the person who's saying, I can't sing. And I'm like, come on, just sing. No, I can't. No, I'm shy. Oh, come on, just sing. No, I don't want to. I don't have a pretty voice. Sing. La, 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 la. I'm like, what are you doing? Sing opera. Let me see. What can we do about it? No one feels like something isn't right and we're supposed to be doing something. What can we do? Supply and demand. When I was working as a bathroom attendant, because I was consistent with myself, I got a music management deal out of that. And these are people who work with